What's up, YouTube?
Hey YouTube, WizKid Gaming coming at you, episode 2 in a storied career of YouTube. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Warden Healer. This is the Warden Healer that I use when I heal trials, both on normal and vet, all 4-man content. It makes everything real easy mode. So we're going to walk you through the skills I use, both front and back bar. And then we'll look at the gear I'm running as well. Alright, so let's take a crack real quick. Here's my character screen so you guys can see all the stats I have. In case you have any questions, this is with the food buff up and only the food buff. Alright. Working our way into the skills here. Enchanted Growth. This is a must for all Warden healers. It increases the target's magic and stamina recovery by 20%. That is huge for their sustain. Lasts for 28 seconds. That's because I have your volts on. You guys will see that here in a moment. And then it also heals for a nice amount too. 9,244 health. It's a pretty great heal. Next up, we have Radiating Regeneration. This heals up to 3 nearby allies for 22,902 health over 10 seconds. Again, it's a real good heal. I run Inner Light on my front bar as well to increase the strength of my heals and to increase my regeneration as well. A substitute for this one, depending on the encounter, is sometimes I will put excuse me, I'll put Illustrious Healing in its place if I need more group healing. If we're hard stacking and it's a fight where no one's really moving around, then I'll throw Illustrious Healing on the bar as well. Next up, we have Combat Prayer. This is a must for all healers in the game, and the reason being is it grants Minor Berserk and Minor Resolve, increasing yours and your allies' damage done by 5%, which is huge. Plus, it grants physical and spell resistance by 2,974 for, in my case, 11.2 seconds once again because I'm using your volts. And it heals for 7,321 health. Also, a great heal. Must heal for all healers in the game, not just Wardens, but especially on Wardens as well. Next up, I run Budding Seeds. So a lot of people are asking, why do you run Budding Seeds and not Healing Springs? On your bar. So I will run Healing Springs sometimes, but the reason I run Budding Seeds over Healing Springs, and I'll get to it here in a second, but let's look at Budding Seeds real quick, is it lays down a area of effect heal over time heal, and then it heals for 1,537 health. And then as it expires, it blooms for 13,423 health. Also, if I get into an oh crap situation, I can just reactivate the ability that I used to cast it. I can make it instantly bloom for that 13,423 health. Also, and this is what makes it real good, is your allies can activate the Harvest synergy, which gives them a heal over time as well. So it's an incredible heal. It's very underrated in the game. And the reason why I like to run it on my bars is because there's a passive under the green balance tree. Right here. Increase your healing done with the green balance abilities by 2% for each green balance ability slotted. So by having that slotted, that's a green balance ability, so there's 2% increased healing. Enchanted Growth is another green balance ability I run, so it's 4% we're up to. And then the ultimate I use my front bar, because you gotta have a healing ultimate, is Healing Thicket, which is also a green balance ability. So by having all 3 of these green balance abilities slotted, my healing with each one of these is increased by 6%. So that's why I run Budding Seeds over the Healing Springs, otherwise known as Illustrious Healing. Wrapping up the front bar, my ultimate is Healing Thicket. It's a great, area of effect heal. It requires only 90 ultimate. You get it back so quickly. I pop this if there's like an oh crap situation. We gotta get everyone healed back up because it heals really well the entire group. Plus, just having slotted increases the healing done by Budding Seeds and Enchanted Growth. It's a great ability. Moving my back bar. So my front bar I use a Restoration Staff. My back bar I run a Destruction Staff. And the reason you run a Destruction Staff on your back bar is because it's a must for healers to run Elemental Drain. We'll get to that here in a moment. So first, ability on my back bar is Energy Orb. This is a must for Warden healers. This is your resource regeneration ability for damage dealers, tanks, and what have you. Your allies, when they pop your orb, they instantly restore 3,960 magic or stamina to the ally, whichever maximum is higher. Plus, it also explodes for 7,941 health for them as well. So it's a big heal for them. Plus, it gives them back some of their resources. Plus, as it floats through the air, it's healing everyone it touches, and it's, you know, it's zapping everyone like every half second. Boom, 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 boom. 1,000 health, 1,000 health, 1,000 health. So it's a good heal. All right, next up, Blue Betty. This is a must. This is where you are going to get your major sorcery, which increases your spell damage by 20%. In addition to that, the Betty will also restore 4,966 magicka to you over 25 seconds. So it's basically like using a magicka potion over 25 seconds because it's restoring 5,000 magicka to you. Unbelievable ability. Also, the Blue Betty, every 5 seconds, it removes one negative effect from you. So it's like a purge every 5 seconds. An incredible ability. It's a must run if you're a Warden healer. Next up, I run Expansive Frost Cloak. So what this does, it gives all my allies within 28 meters major resolve, increasing their physical and spell resistance by 5,948. The reason I run this is, as long as I keep this up on everyone, that means they're going to take less damage from AoE abilities, which means I have to heal less because they're taking less damage. It's a great ability to run. Next up, Fletcher Flies. This is a must for all Warden healers. On top of its damage over time that it does, and that's not really the reason you run it, that of course is nice. It afflicts the enemy with minor vulnerability, increasing the damage they take by 5%. So when you cast Fletcher Flies on a boss, that allows the DPS to do 5% more damage to the boss. So everyone in your group is doing 5% more damage to the boss for the 10 seconds that Fletcher Flies is up on the boss. You need to be keeping Fletcher Flies up at all times because it's a fantastic ability. It's a must for all Warden healers. Next up, and this is for all healers need to be running Elemental Drain. What this does is it grants Major Breach, which reduces the boss's physical and spell resistance by 5,948. It also applies Minor Magic Steal to the enemy, which causes you and your allies to restore 168 magicka every 1 second while damage them. So this is great. It's going to increase the damage of your damage doers. Plus, it's going to increase their sustain because they're getting magicka back, as long as they're a magicka damage doer. And then lastly, a must for all healers, as well as tanks, Aggressive Warhorn. You should be popping your Warhorn as often as possible. You really shouldn't be using your Healing Thicket unless you absolutely need to. If you don't need to use the Healing Thicket, you know, if things aren't going south, and you can just handle it with your normal healing abilities, then you should be using Aggressive Warhorn at all times. What Aggressive Warhorn does at all times is it increases the group's magic and stamina by 10%. Now I'm using your Volt, so it increases it for 42 seconds, which is huge. You know, 10% more your maximum resource pool means you're doing more damage, a little bit more sustain. In addition to that, why Aggressive Warhorn is so good, it increases it applies Major Force to you and your allies, which increases everyone's critical damage done by 20%. In my case, 14 seconds if I'm running your Volts. If you're not running your Volts, it's 10 seconds. But that Major Force, that increased critical damage by 20%, is a huge boost to the group's damage. It's a must. So you want to do your best to keep that up at all times. Really, the healer should be alternating Warhorns along with the off tank. So like I said, we're going to go into gear that I'm using as well, my Warden. So I run Spell Power Cure. I have the Spell Power Cure Resto Staff on my front bar with Powered. And I have the Spell Power Cure Lightning Destruction Staff on my back bar, also with Power to increase my healing done, because I have a healing ability on my back bar. The enchants I use on them, and this is really up to you, I run the Weapon Damage enchant, which increases my weapon spell damage by 348 for 5 seconds. Just increases strength of my heals. Monster sets, there's a number of monster sets out there that you can run. It depends on the encounter, what you're looking to do, so on and so forth. As of recent, I've been running Bogdans. Bogdans is a real effective monster set. So I run Bogdans with Divine's head. Moving down, I run Yorvold's 5-piece set. So I have it on the chest. This is the one piece where I run a tri-stat enchant for the health and magicka. And the reason I do that is that slightly extra health and magicka allows you to sustain through fights that you otherwise wouldn't be able to live through. And some of these fights I'm talking about are Vet Hellrot Citadel, when you have the final boss raining down Shiite on you. It's really nice having that little extra stamina, that little extra health to keep you alive and keep you going through that fight. You know, if you don't need it, if you just want to go glass cannon mode and just pump out the most powerful heals you can, you know, you can always run, you know, Divines on this and change it back to just a single stat and just run Magicka, Max Magicka on it. Next up, Bogdan's Shoulders with Divines on it. Waist, running Yorvolds with Divines. Gloves, we have Yorvolds with Divines again. Pants, I'm running Yorvolds, so I've been playing with this one a little bit between Infused and Divines. I don't need the max Magicka regen. I have like 1800 completely unbuffed. I can get it up to about 2300 when I buff up between a potion and my mushrooms ability, the growth. So, you know, once again, it's up to the user if they need more regen, less regen. But I decided to run Infuse on this, give me some more max Magicka, which just increases the strength of my heals. It gives me a larger Magicka pool. But again, it's up to the user. Next up, we're running Spell Power Cure Boots with Divines. I have Yorvold's Necklace on. Max Magicka and Spell Damage trait. Again, I have enough Magicka regen. I don't need to enchant my jewelry with Magicka regen. Spell Power Cure Ring. And again, Spell Power Cure Ring, all with Max Magicka. So, I've kind of got a mixed match here between my jewelry and my armor pieces. That's simply because of the gold pieces of jewelry I was able to obtain. But it works for me. And, you know, everyone's different. Everyone will, you know, kind of piece together what they need in order to, you know, make it work for them. So this is the healer Warden that I use when I run vet trials, normal trials, vet dungeons. Gonna give you guys a quick flash at my character screen. Appreciate you guys stopping by my video. If you guys would please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna continue to release new content for everyone as time, you know, goes on. I'm gonna try to make a daily thing, you know, for the time being. Peace.